Welcome to Thriving with Diabetes, the podcast where we empower people with type 2 diabetes to live their best lives. I am your host, Gamden, a holistic wellness coach, helping people overcome challenges related to type 2 diabetes. As a holistic wellness coach, I have dedicated my passion to helping people like you navigate the complexities of diabetes. I believe that with the correct knowledge, mindset, and support, you can manage your health condition more effectively and lead a fulfilling lives. In this episode of Thriving with Diabetes podcast, we are talking about middle-aged health conditions, including type 2 diabetes, and show the benefits of a holistic approach. Our special guest is Amita Sharma, a co-founder of NourishDoc. During this episode, we will share some insights and practical tips to guide you through middle age. I'm so excited to have our guest with me today, Amit Sharma. As you know that our podcast is all about empowering people with type 2 diabetes to lead healthier and more fulfilling lives. And having experts like Amita on the show helps us achieve that goal. It is always inspiring to learn about our guests' perspectives and experiences. Before we dive into our discussion, I would love for Amita to introduce herself, share some background about her and what she does. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Amita Sharma to introduce herself. Amita, welcome to Thriving with Diabetes podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you're doing such an amazing job. I'm just trying to put a little bit drop of my contribution in this overall umbrella of holistic health. So I am not a medical doctor. I am not a medical professional. I'm just an average person like so many millions of people out there, who suffered some kind of strange things like chronic fatigue in my middle age, and also some other issues like women go through like perimenopause. And at that time, I did not want to take medication. So I started researching on holistic health. And here I am, a co-founder of a holistic health platform for mid-age women only. I'm sorry, I'm not including the men at this time, not to discriminate you and a man, you are interviewing me. So, but the idea is the women go through a little bit more symptoms than men, and women's life is more complicated. So here I am, created a holistic health platform for mid-age women to navigate their journey with chronic conditions or any other symptoms that they might face. And it's called NourishDoc. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing something about your background and how you started to found the NourishDoc. So that was the leading reason behind NourishDoc. So when we talk about chronic health conditions, we need to know what they are and how to identify them. So could you explain what a chronic health condition is and how it affects people mentally and physically? I know a health condition is not just about a physical aspect of health, but there is a mental side of it as well.
Absolutely. Chronic means it's going to go with you, right? It's just stuck with you. So that's the chronic medical condition here. And if we have a headache or if we have a cold, we take a medication, we recover, we go away, it goes away. But with chronic, let's say, for instance, you have to constantly be taking some medication, and it's going to live with you. If you don't take any measures with the rest of your life. And absolutely, we know that our physical, mental, emotional, it's all intertwined. And what I want to say is that in America, and in fact, in all over the world, over 33%, or maybe the more number, people are suffering with chronic conditions. If you look at the data, women, where I specialize in, women over 55, as you start getting older, 80% of those are suffering with one chronic conditions. So chronic conditions like, heart health, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia. Like if someone has a dementia, they're going to have a problem with dementia. These kind of chronic conditions, kidney, kidney disease is directly correlated with someone having diabetes type 2. So most of these chronic conditions, unfortunately, are related with our lifestyle. These are all culmination of how we are taking care of ourselves in mid-age, and as we start getting older, if we haven't taken care of ourselves, these chronic conditions can surface in our, to us, stress is a chronic condition, and it probably affects almost all of us. We never take stress as seriously, so this can be reversed. That is the beautiful part, that we can reverse this. Maybe not dementia or osteoporosis, some of these serious ones, but diabetes type 2 for sure can be reversed. There is enough data that talks about diabetes type 2 as an example.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing this information and your insights as well. Let's focus a little bit about middle age health challenges. So we need to know what are some common health challenges that are unique to the middle age, specifically women, as you focus on. And how does NourishDoc, your platform, tailor its approach to address these specific concerns?
Absolutely. So, middle age is what happens to women, and actually some men also, is that in women case, the hormones, are female sex hormones that start when women start the puberty, they start going down. So the hormonal imbalance starts happening around 40, around that time frame. So when this hormonal imbalance is starting to happen, as a result of that, a lot of women start putting on weight, specifically around the abdominal area, thighs, these kind of areas. And it's very difficult to get rid of it actually for women. So obesity can be prevalent, and it's the cause of some of the things that we talked about earlier. Then the hormonal imbalance that's happening can cause slew of different symptoms. Like we talked about the stress, we talked about the sleep issues, we talked about we didn't talk about the sleep issues, but other things like weight. We talked a little bit about that, and also brain fog. We might forget a little bit. We can't focus sometimes. Concentration. These all kind of strange symptoms, and specifically for women, hot flashes and some of the night sweats, right? So these things, when they start happening to your physical body, you can imagine the emotional part also is going to make an impact. So mid-age women are going through this hormonal roller coaster ride, and because of this roller coaster ride, if they don't learn how to balance the ratio of these two female sex hormones, all these strange symptoms will start coming as a bomb in their physical body and impact their mental and emotional state as well.
Brilliant. And what about your platform, NourishDoc? What does it provide for these common health challenges?
Yeah, so like I said, I think the holistic health or holistic therapies is the first defense. No matter, even if you're taking medication, you have to figure out, you have to change your lifestyle, you have to embrace the holistic lifestyle. And that's what NourishDoc is advocating is holistic therapies, holistic lifestyle, so that you can take care of yourself. And we are focused on the mid age. So, based on the symptom the woman is facing, we can take an example of her sleep as an example. NourishDoc is providing us as a first defense, as a first step, a self care app. So, the way it would encompass is the holistic therapies would include your diet. We know food as medicine, we know the exercise, we know yoga has ton of evidence that helps for chronic conditions. Your breathing, deep breathing, your aromatherapy, all your CBT, all these therapies, NourishDoc will provide step by step of self care, bite size information, and actionable insights that women can take based on what their symptoms are. So that's what NourishDoc is launching an app which is priced at less than $10 a month that women can start on a journey of self-care during the mid-age. And that's what we are trying to fill the gap of underserved market that nobody wants, we are not aware of, and it has not been researched very well to fill that gap to ultimately prevent a chronic condition, the data that we talked about earlier. The 80% of women over 55 have one chronic condition, and diabetes is so prevalent not only in the United States or Western country, all over the world now, right? And it is a lifestyle disorder. So that's what NourishDoc is trying to, the ultimate mission of NourishDoc is to prevent chronic condition by providing all these holistic therapies and really tackling symptom one by one.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing these insights. And you just introduced the concept of holistic health. So let's talk in more details about holistic health. As you know that holistic health plays a fundamental role in managing or preventing health condition. So how does the concept of holistic health address chronic conditions? Let's dig a little bit about holistic health and holistic approach to health.
Yeah, I mean, for example, we can take a diabetes type 2, like we talked about. It's a culmination of the lifestyle that we're leading in Western and all over the world. So holistic health is talking about really living it holistically. So holistic is not just your physical body, but also your mental part, your emotional part, your spirituality. So it talks about really starting with a simple thing like your daily routine is a simple thing that you start incorporating some of the habits to lead a holistic lifestyle. So, holistic lifestyle, as an example, could be the diet, eating according to the seasons, eating healthy. Now, healthy is letting go of your processed food, eating natural food like plant based, anything that's coming from the earth. So, diet, taking the diet according to your constitution, as an example, who you are rather than eating watermelon as an example in winter, which you get it, and we get it here. So holistic is the diet is food as medicine is number one for sure. What you're putting inside your body, right? Because that's going to show up, and we know that whatever we put inside our body, gut and mental health, it's all related through a vagus nerve. So then the second part is how do we keep our stress? How do we keep our mind sane, mind in a homogeneous state. So holistic health is also keeping your mind at ease, in peace, so to speak. What can you do? You can keep your mind, some kind of a simple meditation, some mindfulness. So that is also holistic, right? Now the other thing is your emotional digestion. We hold on to a lot of things, and all of us might have gone through some kind of a trauma or some kind of a disagreement when we are growing up. Letting go of that emotional imbalance or feelings, right? So that is also holistic health. Spirituality doesn't mean like, any religion or anything. Just being content with yourself, just saying I am worth it. So it's important for us to introspect ourselves and value ourselves for self-worth. So that's also holistic. So all these combine, if you lead these kind of tenets that I talked about, you will notice the difference. And that's what we can talk about the daily routine and what we can do, but on a higher level, these are the things that if we start making those small changes, we will notice the difference in our overall thinking, overall well-being.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing this great information about holistic health. Just to summarize it, so health is not one aspect of life, if we can say that. So we cannot look at health from one aspect. So there are many things when it comes to health. You mentioned nutrition. You mentioned diet. You mentioned nutrition and diet. You mentioned sleep. You mentioned physical activities, stress as well. These approaches or strategies are part of a holistic approach to health and wellness. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Actually, I didn't mention relationships and community. Having positive relationships, healthy relationships with your family, your extended friends, or whoever is also very, very important. And being part of some community, that is also helps you because you are part of some community, whichever it could be religious or any interest based or whatever you like. Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that as well. Let's move on to another point, which is about type 2 diabetes in the middle age. You know that when we get older, we become like, or we face more health challenges. The older we are, you can say the weaker we can get. So let's talk about type 2 diabetes in the middle age. And we need just to talk about the factors that contribute to the rise of type 2 diabetes in this age group, and how do people with type 2 diabetes manage this condition holistically. When someone has type 2 diabetes, what is a holistic approach to manage or improve this condition?
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about the hormonal imbalance, right? Earlier, that specifically for women, they're going through hormonal imbalance, and the fact that for them to put on weight goes higher, and one of the key factors of that's causing diabetes type 2 is obesity. So obesity is, like, we know that especially in the United States, and that some of the ethnic groups are more prone to obesity, like Latino and African American, and they are more prone to diabetes type 2 if you look at the data as an example, right? So obesity is actually a silent killer, and it can impact diabetes type 2, direct correlation, right? So to get rid of diabetes type 2, I think the weight control, your BMI index, your obesity should come down to some kind of a degree. Now, the other thing we can talk about is that the symptoms we are aware of. We talked about the weight gain, we talked about the Well, we didn't talk about the fatigue, but that's one of the symptoms. And also, you feel very thirsty, and then you tend to go to the urination, frequent urination, and the blood sugar, that gets elevated. You can, if you get a urine test done, which most of us should get done when we are in the middle age, so that the blood sugar is not elevated, right? So these are the issues on a high level. Now, I want to focus on what can we do, right, to manage
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
right? So because I think most of your viewers want to understand the management part of it. So there are a lot of ways, as I talked about earlier, and a lot of therapies. For example, Ayurveda. Ayurveda has successful research that can reverse the diabetes type 2. So I'll talk a little bit about Ayurveda, if that's okay. We talked about nutrition, but I want to talk a little bit about Ayurveda. So Ayurveda talks about the fact that all the processed foods that we are eating, all the toxins get accumulated in our body. It doesn't matter if you have diabetes type 2 or not, but more so in diabetes type 2. Getting rid of these toxins, irrespective of whether you have this chronic condition or not, is paramount for us to lead a holistic lifestyle, right? So one of the things is we should try to get rid of the toxins. How do we get rid of the toxins? Now, that's and then we should eat a low calorie diet. And some of the things that Ayurveda is talking about, I'll talk, is nutrition, certain type of nutrition for diabetes type 2, and the toxins. Now the toxins, there are ways. For instance, massage with herbs, herbal massage can help the toxins, from the body out. Sweating, like a steam, herbal steam, as an example, because you want the toxins out. So you're sweating. How do we get these toxins out of our body? Then the other thing is the panchkarma therapy. There is called Vamana and Virechana. So these are very specific therapies. The idea is to get the toxins out, either through vomiting or through bowel movements. That's the idea. How do you get it out of your body, right? So once you get these toxins out of your body has to bring the body in some kind of an equilibrium. And then you replenish your body with the right kind of food in the nutrition we are talking about, so that it starts taking the right type of ingredients inside your body so it can thrive, right? So getting rid of the toxins is actually step number one, because you don't know how much toxins you have in your body, and you can still start eating and nothing is happening. That concept is very strong in Ayurveda, as an example. And if you take acupuncture, that they also talk the similar kind of an aspect of energy. They're talking about the chi, or the energy that's flowing through your body. So they're putting those thin needles so that the energy is flowing in the body, right? So these are the two concepts I think most of the viewers don't understand. But if we just understand the basic concepts of how to get toxins out of your body and what can you do, and I am not suggesting a juice detoxification, which has become very popular. Talk to someone who understands what detoxification is, but that is one of the starting points of detoxification of your body, whether using Ayurveda principle, acupuncture, or any other principle.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing these great insights about type 2 diabetes and what we need to do in order to either improve the condition or manage it better. Let's talk about lifestyle choices. You know that part of the holistic approach is lifestyle choices that people may know about or may not. So, can you explain about what the impact of lifestyle choices, either positive or negative? Sometimes, if someone following a lifestyle that is based on, let's say, poor diet or healthy diet, so the results will be different. So something like that. So we need to talk about the impact of lifestyle choices, either positively or negatively in overall health.
Absolutely. So lifestyle is very important. Let's just start with nutrition. Uh, Cutting out the processed food. I know we all don't have time to cook. It's it's a problem for everyone. But if you can get rid of processed food, or maybe if you can't get rid of it, just say, okay, one day a week, a cheat day, getting rid of some red meat as an example. Nutrition is fundamental. That is one of the lifestyles. So how do you get rid of the fast food and processed food? White, anything that's white, like sugar, white rice, all these things, right? Getting rid of that from your diet, red meat, eating according to the seasons. We talked a little bit about that. Trying to embrace the plant-based diet in your, in your nutrition or a daily cooking that you do. How do you balance the plate? Like we all know the when we say about a meal, talks about the protein, carb, and healthy fats. But do you eat a balanced meal? It doesn't mean, I'm not suggesting that start on a diet plan. No, you just have to eat properly. See, most of the women go on a diet plan and they completely cut out carbohydrates and they say, "Oh no, I'm only eating 4 hours." All those crazy things, right? It's not good for your body. Your body needs fuel. And I personally, I'll share my experience. I eat perfectly healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, and a light dinner. So you need to have your proper meals. Don't just start skipping meals just because you suddenly think, oh, now I'm so fat and I need to bring it down. You just need to have your habits come to a nutritious meal which has all these things of what we talked about. You need your carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates, a complex carbohydrates. You need your protein and you need your healthy fats. So that's step number one. What you want to fill in your body, for example, in diabetes type 2, your kitchen spices. You have a plethora of kitchen spices that you can use. For example, I'll just give turmeric. Turmeric improves inflammation. Bitter gourd has a ton of research. It has that bitter, right? You need the bitter enzymes going into your body, right? Now, pepper, ginger, cinnamon. Cinnamon has a huge ton of research that helps to blood sugar, with your balance of the blood sugar. Fenugreek seeds, as an example, if you soak it in the water overnight and in the morning you drink the water, ton of evidence. Ginger, as an example. So and some of the herbs, it's called Arjuna herb. Now, I don't want you to start taking the herbs by yourself. You should consult with a practitioner, like Gamdan. But there are so many herbs in your kitchen that you can start using to manage your diabetes type 2. Amla is Indian gooseberry. Already has 5 tastes that Ayurveda talks about. Eating the food according to all the different tastes so that you get all kind of different rainbow diet, what we call it, colored vegetables. Try to eat all the colors. Don't just focus on, oh, I'm eating so much spinach every single day, I'll be fine. No, you need to eat some red pepper, as an example, your some kind of a butternut squash, or eggplant. Try to eat different colors, include that into your diet. So that's something a little bit about the nutrition that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to pause a little bit before I go to the next step of exercise.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So the next one is movement, right? So all these lifestyle chronic conditions are culminating because of our sedentary lifestyle and what we're ingesting in our bodies, like processed food, fast food. So sitting is the silent killer, right? We've all read all kind of blog posts. You need to move somehow. Movement. So movement can be simple walks, but specifically for diabetes type 2, weight training, right, has a lot of research and evidence to help diabetes type 2. As an example, we talked about yoga, some of the yoga asanas, postures. Yoga is, you're using your own weight, right? In yoga, we know that. Learn to do some simple sequences in yoga to help your blood sugar, to help calm you down. Yoga is a big stress reliever. All these things. So a lot of postures, yoga postures that one can learn. Some of the breathing exercises we talk about, one of the breathing exercises is called Kapalbhati. So Kapalbhati is actually breathing from your tummy right here, from your right here. It's go, taking your that helps with the diabetes type 2. Learn all these things, right? So yoga, pranayama, breathing exercises. I talk a little bit about herbs, quite a bit about herbs. I talk about the nutrition part of it. So meditation, simple meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be you sitting still and not doing anything. It can be just listening to some music, simple music, bringing the stress down. The other trick that I think is called a therapy called Shirodhara. So Shirodhara is nothing but you're lying down, and actually it's a therapy in Ayurveda where they pour a medicated oil on your forehead right here. So this is your chakra, right? Your chakra balancing. You're balancing your chakra right here. If and they pour the lukewarm medicated oil, so it has a direct research of helping you sleep better and also bringing your stress level down. We talked about that. So there's a plethora of these kind of therapies. The other thing is your CBD oil has actually, believe it or not, research. Hypnotherapy has research to calm yourself down, right? So these are some of the things that we can all start doing. Essential oils, for example, aromatherapy. Coriander seed oil has as research are talking about it. Cinnamon oil, we talked a little bit. Black pepper oil, black seed oil, lemon oil. Acupuncture, we talked a little bit, has a lot of research on for to improve the insulin sensitivity. We didn't talk about what happens when someone has diabetes type 2. And then there are other research that Chinese medicine has on fungus or some of the mushrooms, right? So there are so many things that holistic therapies, all these things that I talked about, has validated research behind it. But my suggestion is to talk to a coach, a diabetes coach, someone who understands all these things and can tell you based on your blood test, right, based on someone else's exact condition of what, the blood sugar or the blood test, what would work for you. Don't just start experimenting, but a simple thing like a cinnamon and a turmeric is harmless, but other things like taking the herbs or doing some Chinese herbs should be done with some practitioners' expertise, like yourself.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you for sharing your insights about lifestyle choices. I know you have already given us a lot of tips about holistic health and following a holistic approach when it comes to health and wellness. Are there any, or do you have some more tips in regards of holistic approach to health?
Yeah, I think the thing would be to start with a daily routine, right? And set some a daily routine on a daily basis. Like in the morning, you start with the simple grounding exercises or simple yoga. If you can't do yoga, yoga is difficult. You can start with a simple meditation, simple music, calming yourself. So having a daily routine, that would be my suggestion, is starting these things day by day on a daily basis, taking bite steps. Don't think, oh my God, I've talked so much. How can I do everything? It's not possible. But making it into bite-sized, healthy habits, making modifications would be a step forward. That would be my advice.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that as well. I have got another question before we finish this episode. What inspiring message or advice would you like to leave out with our viewers and listeners, specifically those who are struggling with diabetes?
There is hope. I want to end this session with so much hope it can be reversed. There is so much research and evidence on how you can reverse the diabetes type 2. Your body and mind is a temple. You need to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, living with a chronic condition, the quality of life goes down. You can't enjoy so many things that positive things that the world has to offer. So self-care, self-worth is so important, and that inspiring yourself, whatever inspires you, that would be my message, that the hope is there. It can be reversed only with lifestyle modification.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing your great, inspiring message. How can people find you if they want to learn about you or get in touch?
Absolutely. So, like I said, we have actually a step-by-step diabetes type 2 self-care program as a first step. So they can find us at www.nourishdoc.com. If someone wants to get in touch with us, hello@nourishdoc.com. So take the first step. Self-care is self-worth. I would highly encourage everyone to help themselves.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your contact information. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up this episode?
No, thank you so much for inviting me and talking about diabetes type 2, which is like 300 million all over the world. Can you believe it or not? Have diabetes type 2. That's like an outrageous number out there. With some of the countries have become diabetes capital. And so we all have to collectively start taking small steps. And this is one of the steps that we are talking about, is embracing holistic lifestyle. So thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for our amazing guest, Amita Sharma, for generously sharing her expertise, insights, and time with us. And also, I want to thank every one of you, our dedicated viewers and listeners, for being a part of this episode. If you are seeking additional assistance and support for your health journey, I encourage you to book a discovery call with me at wellnessimpact.org. During this call, we can discuss your needs and explore how I can provide a personalized assistance while addressing any questions you may have. If you found this episode insightful and valuable, I invite you to join our community of people who are committed to thriving with diabetes. To stay up to date for upcoming episodes, inspiring discussions, and practical tips, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For those who prefer other platforms such as Spotify, you can follow the Thriving with Diabetes podcast. Once again, thank you, Amita, for being our guest today. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this impactful journey. Until next time, take care of your health and keep thriving.